What up, y'all? On today's episode of The Drop, we're going to be talking about the new Kid Cudi Ghost album and the new SUPERFLY soundtrack, as well as new albums from Neo, A$AP Rocky, Jessie J, Kyle, and many more. Are y'all ready? It's lit.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no.
Yeah, yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Bright here, the R&B kid, and you're tuned into another episode of On the Bright Side. But if this is your first time on my channel, on this channel I talk all things music and entertainment, while always keeping things positive and always finding the bright side of everything. So go ahead and make sure you subscribe because of that. Hit that subscribe button right now, and then after you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell next to it so you can get the post notifications. So every time I post a new video, you're gonna see it, okay? Go ahead and do that right now. Okay, y'all, so like I said, this is going to be episode 5 of The Drop. For those of you who are new to my channel, The Drop is a series I do where I just talk about a bunch of different songs and albums that I've just dropped recently, pun intended, that I don't exactly want to dedicate a whole video to. So if a new album or song comes out that I want to talk about because I want to highlight because you might not know about it, or, you know, new songs and albums that are dropping that everybody knows about, but I don't exactly want to, you know, dedicate a whole video to, this is where I do it, okay? Alright, so I hope y'all enjoyed the albums and songs I talk about, and let's get ready for the vibes. First up is Kid Cudi Ghost. So Kid Cudi Ghost is the first collaborative and just first album by the new group. I don't know if I should say like they're a new group, but Kanye West and Kid Cudi have teamed up for this album. This is the third of 5 albums that are dropping since May 25th to June 22nd in this like good music, this canon of good music releases. So this is the third album. Next week we get a Nas album, which I'm very excited for, but I'm also a little bit anxious for. We'll see. But you know, this Kanye West and Kid Cudi album, they're going by the group name Kid Cudi Ghost. If I'm being completely honest, guys, even off of first listen, I low-key like enjoyed this album a little bit more than Kanye's album just off of first listen. I've listened to it like another time ever since that, and I think I kind of still feel the same way. I was talking to my friends about it, and the thing about this album is I feel like sonically this album found its groove way quicker and way easier than Kanye's solo album did. And I feel like sonically this album was more, I don't want to say like pleasing to more listen to, but it was just sonically more, I think, more cohesive, and it just felt a little bit more resonant at sometimes than Kanye's sonically. But conceptually, I think Kanye's album is, you know, definitely I think a step ahead conceptually, because I think Kanye he really like brought about some different topics than him and Cudi brought about in the Kid Cudi Ghost album. And I think Kanye was really bringing up a lot of strong topics, and he really brought up a lot of strong themes in some strong ways, and also in some polarizing ways too. I think this Kid Cudi Ghost album was a little bit more safer and not as polarizing as Kanye's album. And I think that's a good and bad thing. I think it's a bad thing because, if anything, I thought this was going to be the album that would be the most polarizing out of all the good music releases. So I'm kind of surprised I actually like didn't have an issue with this album when it first came out, because it was the album I was least excited to listen to. I'm sorry, Cudi fans. It was just I'm a fan of Kid Cudi, but I just and obviously Kanye. But for me, this was the album in all the releases that I was like least excited about. But I found myself like low-key thinking it was kind of better than Ye at first listen, and I don't know if I still feel that way, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I really, for me, this album, I want to say the biggest theme I saw of this album was just the theme of kind of not like accepting the hardships of life and like learning to move on, and being in that place where you're lost and confused in life, but being constantly like being reborn and finding yourself and like moving on from the hardships in life, and just trying to like keep that love in your life and keep that light in your life. And yeah, and I guess that's the journey of being that person that was like a lone wolf, or like nobody fucked with you, or you were going through your shit, you were down in the dumps, but like you're coming through the fire. I feel like that was just like the constant theme throughout this album. I really, if y'all have interpretations of what of why they named themselves Kids See Ghosts, like that's their group name, and as to what the title means. I feel like I have my own idea, but if y'all want to give me some ideas as to what y'all think that group name and this album title really means, and the idea behind Kids See Ghosts, let me know what y'all think. Okay, for me, I feel like this title of Kids See Ghosts represents, like, you know, the immaturity and the innocence of kids, and how kind of like, you know how they say that animals can see ghosts. I feel like you know, kids can see ghosts because they have like a special sense about them that adults kind of lose as they grow up. And I feel like that's a symbolism of how when we're growing up in the world, to going from kids to adults, we tend to lose that part of ourselves, that special intuition, that special sense that we had as kids, and we let a lot of the world come in and start to really like shape and form us, and we kind of lose ourselves in that. And I think this album was kind of a statement saying, you know, don't be afraid to always go back to that kid you were, and don't be afraid to rise above all the bullshit in your life, and keep striving towards the light. That's what I kind of got from the album and from this theme. But let me know if y'all disagree. Let me know if y'all think I'm missing something, or let me know if y'all got any interpretations that I might not have realized. I would love to hear y'all opinions, okay? But you know, just talk about the album in general. I really did enjoy it, more than I thought I actually would. I think this album is great because I feel like it brought the best of what Kanye and Cudi do by themselves, and it brought it together in an amazing way. Cudi with the vocals and Cudi with the vibes, and Kanye with the bars and the energy. It kind of was just a dope marriage of both of their vibes, and I think it was way more seamless than I thought it would be. But the one thing that was weird for me about this album is that I feel like Kanye was low-key rapping, and his flow was better than on his own album. If y'all agree, I'll love y'all. But if you don't agree, that's cool. Let me know if you think I'm bugging. But I low-key feel like Kanye was spitting like better on this album. I'm like, Kanye, how you spitting better on the collaborative album between you and Cudi than on your own project, which is gonna be in your own catalog and your own history? I don't know. But you know, I really was feeling a lot of Kanye's bars on this album. Cudi's vocals were dope, and his arrangements were dope, and I loved all the melodies chosen. I love some of the crazy sporadic moments, like especially in Feel the Love, and Kanye was just like, at first I thought it was weird as shit, but I was like, no, this is actually like a vibe. Like, I got a lot of like tribal vibes in this album, and a lot of like you know, like spacey, like ghostly vibes too. So obviously it's like, so that was cool to see. I think my favorite tracks off this album, I'll probably say Feel the Love, Fourth Dimension featuring Louis Prima. I love that track. I love Free too. Free's a vibe. I feel free. That song's a vibe. And Reborn is also another highlight for me. Honestly, every track of this album is really enjoyable. There's not one track I really didn't like, but those four are the ones that really stuck out for me. Cudi Montage is good too. Cudi Montage is a vibe. But all in all, I'll probably give this album, off my first few listens, I'll probably give it a 4 out of 5. If on a really good day, maybe in the future, maybe a 4.5, but for right now, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. But let me know what y'all think about this album down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about how it compared to Ye, and let me know what y'all think about you know, what this looks like for Kid Cudi's career right now, and let me know what you think this album will do for the culture right now, and also in the future as well. Give me all your thoughts down in the comment section. Appreciate y'all. Alright y'all, next up is a SUPERFLY soundtrack. So the new movie SUPERFLY comes out this coming Friday on June 15th, but the soundtrack just dropped this past Friday on June 8th. And this soundtrack coming out made me realize that I really missed the days when soundtracks were like events, and like they were like really big albums that really like made sense with the movie, and just like really big theme, a big deal. And this soundtrack came out, and I feel like it kind of came out of nowhere. There was really no promo for it, and I'm surprised. I feel like the movie's kind of I want to say kind of getting a lot of promo. I don't really know if I'm planning to see it in theaters. It looks cool, but I'm not really pressed to see it. But I was excited for the soundtrack, but then I realized it was being curated by Future, and that brings me back to my earlier point. I really also miss when soundtracks weren't curated by one artist, and they were actually curated by like a team of people who were like involved with the movie, or like a team of people in the music industry, and like they got a bunch of different artists to like sing on different tracks, and they put it together as one project. I don't like this whole the only time I feel like this worked was for the Black Panther soundtrack. I feel like Kendrick and TDE curating that whole album was dope, but this SUPERFLY soundtrack, I feel like it makes sense for Future to have curated it because he's like the biggest artist in Atlanta right now, and the movie is about a gangster in Atlanta, so it makes sense. But I feel like Future didn't really do a good job of curating this soundtrack to really be something dope. There's a bunch of lackluster and weak tracks on this thing. The only tracks I really liked off this soundtrack was If You Want It, the intro. That track by Sleepy Brown was amazing. Shout out to Sleepy Brown, and shout out to all of like Outkast and Goody Mountain, all those guys. So shout out to Sleepy Brown. I love the track What's Up With That. That was featuring 21 Savage. That was a dope track. I also and the other two tracks I really loved were the R&B tracks. Funny enough, in this world dominated by hip hop, and this very hip hop, you know, focused soundtrack, two of the best tracks were the R&B tracks. Y'all motherfuckers need to stop sleeping on R&B, man. R&B, y'all just need like pay more love and attention to R&B, man. Let your wallets and your ears give more love to R&B on some real shit. Cause on this heavy hip hop soundtrack, two of the best tracks were the R&B tracks, and that was Ran by Miguel, Real Ass Nigga by Miguel, and This Way by Khalid and Her. The track This Way is amazing on some like new classic R&B joint type shit. The track with her and Daniel Caesar, Best Part, to me that's like a new modern R&B classic, and this is like a cousin to that track. More of like a breakup, not like a breakup cousin, but like oh, like You Doing Me Wrong cousin to Best Part. So I love the simple production on that joint, the simple guitar. Khalid and Her sound great on that track. It's probably my favorite track off the soundtrack. I also love, like I said, I love the Miguel track too. And the tracks I wasn't in love with, but I liked the track Stains. I also like the track Drive Itself with Wayne. Future was okay in that song, but Wayne's verse was dope. So shout out to Wayne on that track. Lil Wayne killed his verse. And Money Train was cool too. I love the beat on Money Train. That was like the second to last track. But every other track besides the tracks I just mentioned, I wasn't really feeling like that. To me, this was a lackluster soundtrack, and I'm mad because I feel like it could have been like a really like big movement. It really could have been like a big soundtrack. You know, we just had the Black Panther soundtrack, which was a big deal. It went #1. It just, you know, 2 hits off the album already. Like it was a big soundtrack, and I feel like this could have been another soundtrack that could have made a lot of waves this year. But I feel like it's not going to because it has a bunch of whack songs on it. But it is what it is. Let me know what y'all think about this soundtrack. I'll probably give it a 2.5 or 3 out of 5. But let me know what y'all think about it down in the comments. Okay, next up, I want to talk about Neo's new album, Good Man. Neo just released his 7th studio album this past Friday on June 8th called Good Man. I've been waiting for this album for a minute, y'all, because I love Neo, and I feel like I just actually watched Neo's Breakfast Club interview this morning, and it is so like wrong how motherfuckers just forgot about Neo because he hasn't really been out like that. Like, for God's sakes, are we gonna forget about the fact that Neo was like one of the best songwriters, he still is one of the best songwriters out, but like he was literally one of like the best like and most successful male R&B artists from like 2006 to like 2011, 12. Like he for those years he was holding it down along with like Chris Brown and Trey Songz. So why the fuck did y'all forget? Y'all didn't forget about Chris Brown and Trey Songz, but y'all forgot about Neo. Like, why? I don't give a fuck if Neo ain't had hits out here like that. Like, he's still around. Like, he still looks the same. He's keeping himself healthy. He can still sing. He can still dance. He can still write his ass off. Like, come on. Like, y'all need to start acting like Neo just disappeared because he's not been producing hits like that. He's been building his family. He's been living his life. Go ahead, do your thing, bro. But now he's back with his 7th album, which I was really excited for. And there are some gems on this album, but I will admit I was a little bit disappointed by this album. I think a lot of people really like it, but I personally don't think this album was as good as I thought it was going to be. I was a little bit disappointed by the fact that I feel like there were a lot of tracks here that I'm not gonna say were filler, but they just didn't hit like I expected them to hit. For example, like the first 3 tracks off the album I just didn't like at all. I think it was like One More Shot, LA Nights, and like one other track. I just didn't like those tracks at all. There was just a lot of like tracks that I feel like they didn't necessarily sound bad, but it was just like, this is kind of boring and it's not really giving me anything deep like Neo has in the past. Like, Neo is a really great, prolific songwriter, so I feel like a lot of these songs are just kind of weak. But the songs I really do like off this album, I really like the song You Deserve. That's a gem to me. I've already highlighted Pushback in my Brightside Mix Volume 5, so go check out that song. That's one of my favorite songs out right now. That beat is crazy. I hope that song takes over the clubs and over radio and just becomes a hit this summer. It's an amazing record. That song is a jam. Bibi Rexha did her thing, Stephon Dawes did her thing. That's my fucking song right there. So Pushback is this current single off the album. I'm glad he chose it as a single because it's a vibe. Go check out that song if you haven't already. It's a jam. You will not regret it. Other than Pushback, I also love the song Breathe. That song is dope. I also like Apologies, a dope song. That was a pre-release before the album came out. Apologies, dope. And Good Man as well. And I also like the song Won't Be Often. That's a nice track as well. But yeah, so all in all, I really wish Neo could and Motown could really get together with a promo for this album, because the promo has been kind of weak. But at the end of the day, Neo's at a point in his career where I totally understand why he's not really getting that much love right now. But I still love my man Neo. He's doing his thing. Go check out the album if you haven't already. Let me know if you enjoyed it or if you didn't enjoy it. For me, I'll probably give the album a 3 out of 5, but let me know what y'all think about the album down in the comments, okay? Appreciate y'all. Okay, next person I want to talk about is A$AP Rocky. He released his album a few weeks ago, actually, on May 25th, called Testing. This is A$AP Rocky's 3rd album. I was very disappointed by this album. I think this is probably one of the most polarizing hip-hop albums that dropped all year. I feel like everyone's either like, oh my god, A$AP is on some genius shit, or you're like me where I'm like, no, this was trash. Like, straight through and through, A$AP Rocky's Testing album is trash. I'm not exactly mad at A$AP Rocky, because I appreciate artists who are always trying to like push the envelope and do something different and try out new sounds, try out new vibes, try out new energies. I'm always down for experimenting, because we're never gonna move forward musically if we don't try new things. But I feel like in the midst of trying to try new things, A$AP just kind of got lost in the shuffle of what he was trying to do and what he was trying to accomplish. And I feel like this album doesn't really have any like significant themes or concepts, or doesn't really have anything kind of like threading it all together. It's just kind of like, I feel like this is just like a whack. I feel like it's just like a mixtape. It's like a glorified mixtape with like some songs that show some promise, but I just through and through, I was not feeling this album at all. The highlights for me were Distorted Records. That first track I really like. Cool beat, dope beat. Praise the Lord, Deshaun featuring Skepta. I think it's one of the singles off the album right now. I'm not in love with that track because I feel like it's very repetitive, but I love the beat and I love the arrangement. So that could be something for this album, but I just wish it wasn't so repetitive as it was. Buckshots was cool. Yeah, I don't know. I need to go back and listen to it probably a couple more times. I only listened to it like twice, I think. But yeah, I just wasn't really feeling it. But let me know what y'all think about this album and about some of the redeeming qualities. If you think it's a bad album like me, or if you think this album is lit, let me know why you think it's lit, and let me know what are your favorite tracks. I'm just very disappointed by A$AP Rocky, and I hope he kind of gets it together on the next project and really starts to form a clear direction and clear vision for what he's trying to do. Yeah, I have no problem with testing, but if you're gonna test, make sure the end result is some bomb shit. And A$AP Rocky did not give that to us. So I'll probably give this album like a 2 out of 5. But let me know what y'all think about the album down in the comments. Okay, so the next album that I have to talk about, I kind of want to do a video on Jessie J, but I'm just gonna, there's a lot of new music coming out, so I'm not gonna do a whole video on her, but I had to talk about her on my channel. Jessie J just dropped a new album, R.O.S.E, back in May 25th. This album is amazing, guys. R.O.S.E stands for, the R stands for realizations, the O stands for obsessions, the S stands for sex, and the E stands for empowerment. So Jessie J did a really interesting thing with the rollout of this album. She put it out as like 4 small EPs. One letter represented each EP. And the songs that I think kind of like represented each part of the realizations, obsessions, sex, empowerment. So releasing this album as like 4 small EPs was a very interesting thing to do for her rollout. I think it was very unique and very creative, and it actually worked out because I feel like each EP really had the songs in them that really actually represented each theme very well. So it was done well. The only thing is I kind of wish I could just kind of get it packaged as an album. I like to just get something as an album. I don't want to get I don't like small EPs. I like to get an album. But it was a creative rollout, and I had to talk about this album because it's been flopping. No one is buying or streaming this album, and I think it's such a sad thing because to me Jessie J is one of the top tier talents vocally in the music industry. Her voice is one of the best in the industry, I think so, hands down. She's a gem. Her voice is wild, it's crazy, and for some reason when she was doing her pop shit and she was on a major label back in early in this decade, motherfuckers, y'all was loving her. She had hits on hits. But ever since Jessie J kind of got off of a major and started doing more R&B, it's people just act like she didn't exist, like Neo. People just forgot about her, which I think is crazy because I think her voice is more suited towards R&B, and this new album from her was pretty much R&B straight through and through, and she killed it. It was amazing. I don't really know what this album will do, you know, commercially and culturally, but I think this is one of the albums I feel like will be, to me, like low-key one of the best R&B wise this year. It's such a gem. So many amazing songs. Some highlights for me. This album is honestly stacked with good songs. Think About That, Easy on Me. Dopamine is such a good song. Talk about something very deep, which is the fact that we're all addicted to the dopamine of like social media and headlines and media and all that bullshit. It was so real. What else do I like? Real Deal, I already love that song since it came out. I highlighted that in my Bright Side Mix Volume 1, so go check out that video if you haven't already. Petty is a vibe. Four Letter Word is a very sweet song, talking about her wanting to be a mother and her wanting a baby so bad. What else? One Night Lover is a vibe too as well, and I also like Glory is a, yeah, like there's just so many good songs on this album. Go check out this album if you haven't already. You probably don't even know she came out with an album. You probably don't even know. I bet you don't. You don't even know right now that she came out with an album. But her album is dope, so go check it out. You will not regret it. If you like R&B, or if you like Jessie J, or if you just like good music, go check out this album. You'll be pleasantly surprised. I'm telling you. Don't sleep on Jessie J. This new album from her is fire. Even though none of y'all are buying it, it's fire. Alright, y'all, another album I want to talk about is Kyle's new album, Light of Mine. Kyle is a rapper who came out a few years ago. He's been doing his thing. You probably know him as Mr. I Spy, his big hit with Lil Yachty. He put out his album a few weeks ago that I checked out, and I like it actually. It's been a quiet release for him. He kind of put it out of nowhere. There was very little promo, but it's a solid project. Kyle to me is like he's very like animated, like more like kind of he gives you like a lot of like child vibes, like very like, you know, immature vibes. Or you like, he's kind of on some like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air shit. Like that's his vibe, and I appreciate it because he's very like eclectic and he's very interesting, and he stands out from the pack because of his energy and his outlook and the way he raps too. Like it's very childlike and very like outer space sometimes. So, but it's cool. Some highlights from me off this album. I really like the track Ikuyo, sorry, with 2 Chainz and Sophia Black. That was one of my favorite tracks. I also love the track Open Doors with Avery Wilson. Playing With Me featuring Kehlani is a single off the album. That song's pretty good. I like I Miss Me with Khalid. And yeah, I like a lot of tracks on this album. It was a really funny album. It was an album where Kyle was kind of like in his head with some of the interludes and the way he was like, the way he kind of shaped the album. You could tell like it was a concept album in a way, but I don't think the concept was fleshed out that deeply. But I like the way I like the way the album flowed. The only critique I have of Kyle is I want him to kind of I kind of want him to push for, like, I'm not gonna say push for hits, but just push for more of like a clear theme for his projects, and kind of just like push the bar with trying to like really get like hits. A lot of these songs, like, they're cool, but they're not like, you know, like people not gonna remember them like next week. But when you do listen to them, they're very enjoyable. So if you haven't checked out this album, go check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. It's not amazing, but it's a solid listen. So let me know what y'all think about the album. Alright, y'all, so for my pop, you know, viewers and my pop lovers out there, I'm gonna hit y'all with one. Shawn Mendes' new self-titled album. I did not do a whole video on Shawn Mendes. I didn't feel the need to. But I really like this guy. Like I said, I just kind of got up on him last year with his song. The songs that really got me onto him was There's Nothing Holding Me Back. I love that song. That really got me into him. So I've been checking him out ever since. And his new self-titled third album just came out on May 25th. I really like this album. To me, it's one of my favorite pop albums that I've heard all year. This 2018 has been a very dry year for pop music, in my opinion. But this album is definitely one of the best that's come out this year so far. You might know the track In My Blood. That's the lead single off the album. It's doing its thing right now. I love that song. I talked about it with my Billboard Music Awards review, so go check out that video. I'll probably put the card up here for the Billboard Music Awards review I did. He performed it at the show, and he did a good job. And I love this song. It's really talking about, you know, anxiety and dealing with stress and kind of not knowing what to do when you're in those moments if you deal with anxiety. So that was a dope song for people who can relate to that. I already love the song Lost in Japan. I've loved that song since it came out back in March. It's a vibe. It's like one of the few like R&B joints on the album, and he really did a good job with that record. I also love Where Were You in the Morning. That's a nice track. I also love Because I Had You. That was a very dope, that was a well-written song, nice vibe, good lyrics. I like the track Queen as well. That was an interesting track. And I also love the song Mutual. I hope that becomes a future single. I don't think it will be, but I love that song. And I think I guess the last song I'll talk about is Youth featuring Khalid. He also performed that at the Billboard Music Awards too. I definitely enjoyed that track. And I think just in general, this album really flowed well. It was a good pop album, good lyrics, good arrangements. It flowed well. And it just had a lot of good topics on it. A lot of good, some good features. Julia Michaels, Khalid. I really see a bright future for this kid. I really feel like he can be one of like the top like pop guys if he just keeps on doing his thing, keeps on staying consistent, and just keeps on pushing himself. He can really be one of our top guys. I think he has a great aura about him, and he obviously makes great albums. So I haven't heard his first 2 albums, but this album is really good. So if y'all like pop, go check out this album. You definitely will not regret it. Okay, so the next project I want to talk about is the new EP from Eric Bellinger called Meditation Music. I have to give my hats off to Eric Bellinger. I feel like he's one of the only artists in the industry that can make a whole project around like one special unique topic. He made a project around 420. He made a project around the election season and around like presidents. Eric B for President Term 1 and Term 2. Those are 2 EPs he made. I didn't really like those EPs, but he has a talent for really making like a solid project around like one topic. And so for this EP, Meditation Music, in honor of May, which was Mental Health Awareness Month, he released this EP in honor of meditating, which is something he does in his life regularly, which I didn't know about, but he meditates all the time. So he made this EP in honor of that, and in honor of like trying to find that time in your life to find peace and to meditate and just to do whatever makes you calm and happy. So this was a dope project. This track that I'm bumping right now heavy off this EP is Chakras. Oh my god, that beat by Chase and Cash. I love that production team. That beat is crazy. I love the la 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 la. I love that song. But no, this whole EP is really dope. Meditate is dope. Frequency is dope. The whole EP is dope, guys. So go check out this EP. You will not regret it. If you're an Eric Bellinger fan, you probably have already seen it. But if you're not, Eric Bellinger is an amazing artist. So don't sleep on him. He dropped his album Easy Call back in April, but it's been quiet for his album. But he's a dope artist. So go check out this EP. I love it, and I know you'll love it too. Okay, and I guess to end off this video, I'm gonna just let y'all know about some songs I really like right now that you probably have not heard about, but I just wanted to highlight to you guys so you can go check them out if you haven't already. And that is These Arms by Luke James. This is a really cool song, so well done, well thought out. It heralds back to the old style throwback R&B, but it has like a modern flair about it. Luke James is an amazing vocalist, an amazing R&B singer, and this is an amazing track. It's his newest track. He put out a track last year called Drip that I love, but nobody paid attention to it, but it's an amazing track, so go check out that track as well. I also want to talk to you guys about Lady Lady by Masego. Masego is a dope like R&B, jazz, fusion artist, and this new track by him is amazing. Go check out Lady Lady. It gives me like some good like old school when that R&B was good. Like Masego did not play around this song Lady Lady, so go check it out. You will not regret it. Masego is amazing. And lastly, Tiffany Fred's new song called Don't. I don't really know much about this new artist called Tiffany Fred, but I caught the song on Apple Music when I was just playing my playlist, and I was like, oh my god, this song is really dope. I can't relate because I'm not a girl, but like, I mean, no, honestly, it doesn't really matter. But it's a dope track. I'm not gonna tell you what it's about, but you can go listen for yourself. But it's dope. It was such a cool like late night smoothed out R&B vibe. Production is dope. Her voice is dope and her tone is dope, and I really think you'll like it. So go check out Don't by Tiffany Fred, and go check out some of the other songs I just talked about. You'll love all of them. Alright y'all, but that was episode 5 of The Drop. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed all the albums and songs I was talking about. I didn't really have any music news for this episode. I don't think there's been any headlines or anything news-wise in the music industry that I really wanted to talk about in this video. But if you think I missed anything, if you think there's anything that's been happening lately that I didn't talk about that you wanted me to talk about, put it down in the comment section. If there's any songs and albums that have come out recently that you wish I talked about, let me know down in the comment section as well. I really want to get a feel for my subscribers and what they want to hear hear from me. So if there's anything that has come out recently that I did not talk about that you wish I did, put it down in the comment section and let me get a feel for what y'all were thinking. But for the songs and albums that I did talk about, also let me know down in the comments what you guys think about them. What are your favorite tracks and all your opinions and all that. If you haven't already, hit this video with a like, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Okay, I appreciate y'all. And like I always say, guys, live your best life, drink more water, stay woke, and if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song. It'll make you feel better, okay? Go listen to your favorite song. Alright, y'all, but this has been your boy Brights, the R&B Kid. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. But for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, y'all.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no. Relax just a little bit, you don't gotta worry, you can just